My name is John Connelly. I'm 22 years old. I just graduated from Rutgers University in New Brunswick, New Jersey, and I have $19,000 in debt. Rutgers is the State University of New Jersey. It was the most affordable school that I got into. I did get into other schools that were out of state that might have had a more prestigious name attached to them, but the debt load I would have to take out would be much higher than $19,000.
My name is Magdalene Castro. I'm 23 years old and I attended Columbia University for grad school. I didn't qualify for the student aid and I applied for scholarships and I didn't get any, unfortunately. So I had to rely solely on taking out loans to pay for my tuition. I do need to start paying off my loans because the longer I take, the more interest I'll accrue, which means I have to end up paying more money. I'm taking out a $60,000 loan, but I'm gonna end up paying close to $80,000.
I'm Marvin Mathew. I'm 22 years old, and I'm a graduate at the University of Maryland, College Park. The question for me was, how do I keep my grades up? How do I focus on school without having to work 40 hours a week? Private loans is my answer. They allowed me to do that. I have about $15,000–$20,000 right now. It's broken up between private and federal loans. It's worth it because at the end of the day, you need a degree, and it's proven that if you have a college degree, you're more employable than somebody without one.
We're not going to be a very picky bunch. We're going to take whatever kind of temporary dead-end gig we can get in order to avoid default. I'm
really set on trying to make my passions my job and trying to live on purpose and trying to see how I can make an impact. You see the nonprofit system, and there's some great jobs out there that allow you to do a lot of good with the nonprofits, but can you afford to do that good? It makes it a little difficult when you have that debt.
I've been probably looking for a job and applying to jobs every day, at least one job per day since maybe March, I guess, because I figured I would need maybe 3, 4, 5 months until I really find something, and I haven't found anything yet. I guess I'll give it until the end of the summer, and then I'll say, okay, I'm gonna put this on hold and I'm gonna try to find another full-time job that will pay me well, because come November, I have to start paying back my loans. Originally, when I graduated, I kind of wanted to leave the nest and just move out and start doing things on my own, become more dependent. But if I don't even have a job now, there's no way that I could afford to live on my own.
You look at where student debt has put a lot of folks in my generation. It's meant that we're putting off purchasing our houses. It's meant that people are putting off starting families.
Finding a car, finding an apartment, where I should live, what city I should go to even. Those are some of the big questions that having student loan debt is gonna impact. If the Stafford loans get doubled on July 1st, then it's even more difficult because then I'm paying a higher interest rate from 3.4 to 6.8. And I mean, with that uncertainty, with not just the market, but with student loans, it's a big factor in where I move and what I do.
I'm definitely currently in a place where I'm living paycheck to paycheck, which is really unfortunate because that's the same place where my parents were, and that's the place where they were hoping that I would be working toward getting out of while I was in college. In terms of personal savings, I currently have $75, a Metro card, and a couple of books.